I think all the things that you could ever learn, one of the most important things you could ever learn is discipline. When people talk about discipline, especially people who aspire to it, or at least they'd like to do it, or be able to do it without having to be disciplined. That's the funny thing, isn't it? If you can be disciplined without having to be disciplined. But it is seen as something that's innate, and it isn't. It's something you can learn. And it's okay if you're disciplined and you're trying to do something, a task a day, like I paint every day, decided to do it, or I do yoga every day, or you do your own. If you take it as something that's an extra thing you've got to do, then it's more difficult. But you wake up every morning. It makes no difference when you wake up, but you do wake up. Well, unless you don't wake up, in which case, of course, you're not going to wake up at all. But it can be learned. And then you set yourself parameters and off you go. As long as your parameters are... They have to be reasonable, but they also have to push you, because if they don't push you, you're not putting... It's a bit like the creative. It's a bit like the risk, intention, execution. If you're not pushing it, then it's not going to happen. You've got to give yourself a little bit of jeopardy somewhere. For whatever reason, doesn't matter, whatever reason, you have to do it. And say, well, I'm not going to let myself down. And that's a difficult thing too, because just saying that is hard, because it puts you under incredible pressure. If you don't do it, you won't let yourself down, especially if you've given yourself a kind parameter, so you're not going to be doing yourself in if you don't do something. However, the discipline part, after a while, becomes very, very... say easy, but it definitely becomes, well, I'm going to do this, do it then. And it's the everyday thing that does seem to get tripped up with very often. And then you think, oh, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I can do that now. Well, why not? Just do it. And it's not as though people who are disciplined, they seem to be in either military or something. It's not nothing to do with that. It's just in your head. And sometimes you wake up and think, oh, I really don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. But then it comes around to you think, yeah, actually I do want to do that. Yeah, I do. I want to put white on there. Oh, or flesh. Oh, a bit of flesh. Yeah, that was a good one. So it's learned. It's like brushing your teeth. Once you've learned how to brush your teeth once, you can learn to brush your teeth any time of the day. But you do it in the morning. And I think that's the first part of the discipline, is doing stuff in the morning. I know if I did yoga and I did it in the evening, it probably would be harder to do. Well, it would be harder to do. When I do extra yoga, I will do it in the evening. But if I hadn't done it in the morning, it's part of your waking up ritual. And you think, oh, I've done. Oh, that's lovely. Well, I like that. Painted without thinking about it, really. Thinking about discipline. Cool, that's a good set of colours. Right. What am I going to do with that? This trowel is just, I love it. Well, that is a very good question. What am I going to do with that? Yeah, that one. That one and a little more flesh. And the burnt umber jumped off the shelf, but you're not being used. Not today. Sorry. I know you're not a greatly used colour, but not happening today either. And this is just going to do this. From there here, and then back up ever so slightly.